Hi, folks. If it's Thursday afternoon, it's me, Christopher. Welcome to our podcast for today. The MyRehab Cafe private and unsearchable or secret Facebook group is the aftercare branch of the MyRehab group of dual diagnosis addiction centers, or ARC as it was formerly known as. The MyRehab centers are private inpatient drug and alcohol rehab centers that offer high-quality healthcare with high-quality outcomes. The MyRehab Cafe Facebook group has exclusive access to loads of content. Now, if you're not a member of the MyRehab Cafe as yet, you're likely watching this on a public channel, which means that you'll have between 10 to 20 minutes of access to this live broadcast before we switch over exclusively to the private and unsearchable MyRehab Cafe Facebook group. Remember to sign up and join the MyRehab Cafe, as this is where the interesting parts of the live videos really start to happen. If you want to find out how to join the MyRehab Cafe, please check out the MyRehab Cafe website, which you'll find at www.myrehab.com. Again, you'll see it on the screen, www.myrehab.com. If you want to participate in this workshop, please join in via video or audio via the link in the comments section, or leave a comment and Christy will be able to bring it on screen and we'll see what we can do to kind of go about answering any questions you may have. If currently you are already a member of MyRehab Cafe and you want a higher degree of anonymity or confidentiality, wait for us to end the broadcast on the public channels before hopping over or posting. I'll make an announcement when we're switching over. So today it's just me, and I would like to thank Lloyd, who was with us last Thursday as we discussed the whole issues of boundaries and the importance of them going forward. Lloyd actually left us yesterday. He completed his 28 days. And so, Lloyd, wherever you are out there, we wish you well, and we hope that your recovery is going to be a good one. So we're going to start again with our quotes for today. Now, the reason why I enjoy the quotes and that I think quotes are important for us as we move forward is, starting first of all and staying on our road to recovery is a real challenge. An addiction to drugs, to alcohol, you guys know it's not easy to overcome. And our recovery often kind of needs constant vigilance as we kind of practice and strengthen the coping skills that we've learned and we've gained in places like the MyRehab centers. And one of the tools that we have is to kind of find inspiration around us. And one of the main forms of inspiration that I find very useful is kind of in the written word. And so to be in a place where to hear, to see what other people have said, to kind of take part of their stories and take it forward, I think that becomes really important. And sometimes kind of a simple saying or like the quotes that we have at the beginning of each session is all it takes to clarify an idea, to kind of get us back into track, get us back on track after kind of we might have hit a bump in the road, or maybe just kind of increase our mood if it's kind of one of those blah days as we move forward. So the two quotes that we've got today, the first is from Joseph Campbell. And he said this: "It's going down into the abyss that we recover the treasures of life. Where you stumble, there lies your treasure." And I find that very poignant, because often we kind of just see that when we go into that darkness, this abyss that he's talking about, is that it's just a place of nothingness. But what I enjoy about this is that we can start to see it as a place of rebirth, a place of new beginnings, new opportunities for us, because it's a place where we find the treasure in ourselves. a place where we are at our weakest, where we're struggling, we're battling, and within that, we are able to strip away all of those kind of other layers that are part of us, and rather create this opportunity where we start to see ourselves as something new. We start to see where we're kind of going and create these wonderful opportunities for us. And then the other quote from Dean Dauphiné: recovery is an ongoing process for both the addict and his or her family. In recovery, there is hope, and hope is a wonderful thing. And again, similar to the first quote where Campbell speaks about there lies your treasure. Yes, speaking about the hope that we have, about that's what our recovery is about. It's about saying, I'm not stuck where I used to be. There, I can see a new vision for my life. I can see a new picture. There's something out there that kind of is saying to me, there's more to my life. There's more to what is around for me. And so again, today, we're kind of focusing on this treasure, on this hope that we have in our recovery as we take it forward, as we allow ourselves to become different and move our lives on. So we're going to begin by focusing just a little bit on the stages of change model. Now, the stages of change model kind of came around in the 1970s. And it was two guys, James Prochaska and Carlo Di Clemente. No, my pronunciation's probably not the best, but so be it. Okay. And we can move to the next page, please, Christy. Thank you. And in the early 70s, they kind of were observing people who were trying to stop smoking. And one of the things they found out was that people, as they were trying to stop smoking, usually kind of it took several times for them to try and stop before they permanently changed their behavior. And the important thing about this model that they kind of came up with is that the model, again, is not a linear journey where you go A, B, C, D, E, F, G. It's kind of a model where you go in and out of different kind of stages until you finally exit. And even then, as you do, there's also the risk of relapse. And so this kind of model and understanding where we are in this model, I think is really useful for us in our recovery. Because we kind of have those days where everything just feels like nothing is going right. From the minute we wake up in the morning and we bump our head until the time we go to sleep, it just becomes those days where it's just, well, let's chalk it up to experience. And then you get those days where we're fully motivated. Everything is good. Everything is clicking. Kind of the world seems better and it kind of full of rainbows and unicorns. Things just kind of seeming really positive. We have those days also where we doubt our recovery. Those days, is it worth it? You know, kind of, especially sometimes in those first few months, you know, those times where we're kind of going to groups, going to meetings, doing the readings, everybody's still looking at us, kind of constantly feeling that we're under surveillance all the time. We ask ourselves those questions, you know what, is this really worth it? Okay. So let's kind of just go briefly through the stages as we kind of look at ourselves going forward. Now, remember that as we go through the stage, think about which stage you're in today. And remember that tomorrow you may well be in a different stage. So it may be that you're in the preparation stage because today you're in a place where you know there's things you want to change, know there's things you want to do, kind of change in your behavior. But tomorrow you move more into a contemplation and, I'm not so sure anymore. How do I take it forward? So the first of the stages that kind of comes up with is pre-contemplation. So this kind of is when, and remember, this is not just about kind of recovery, but this is also about making the changes that we need to make as part of our lives in recovery. So whether it's something we need to do, so for example, I need to change my health. What am I going to do? Am I going to kind of go join a gym? Am I going to kind of go and spend more time with my kids if I'm going to do? How am I going to do it? What am I going to do with work? What are the changes I need to do? So this is kind of a model that fits so many different parts of our lives going forward. So pre-contemplation. Okay, so at the moment, kind of we're not really intending on taking action in the near future, and kind of just looking out and kind of often other people are telling us, well, why don't you do this? Why don't you change this? Why aren't you in this place? And often when we're in this first stage, we kind of usually resist change. And instead, we kind of focus much more on the external factors, such as kind of genetics, family, society, legal system, or whatever. Okay. Often we kind of don't feel we can do too much about the situation we're in. And you know what? Because of all the stuff that we're getting from everybody else, we really don't want to either. Second stage they talk about is contemplation. And we're going to move on to kind of contemplation when we come back. So we're going to cross over now to the private Facebook group. Those of you who belong to that, we look forward to seeing you then. Those of you who are still on kind of the public channels, please do join up and come along and join us as we continue the journey. So Christy, let's move over now.
What's up, guys? MyRehab Helper here. I want to tell you about a refreshing approach to a process of self-discovery for anyone that's just left a rehab program for substance abuse issues, or for anyone wanting to engage with a community of others on a journey of self-discovery. The MyRehab Cafe initiative is a thriving community focused on sobriety. You'll find that this group is thriving and full of conversations and discussion on what is working for those who are staying sober. Some members have used 12-step programs and others have never stepped foot into a meeting, but they all have one thing in common. They are serious about quitting drinking and leading a better life. New members often express how friendly, open and welcoming the community feels, even more than they expected. We achieve this by fostering a community built on trust and fairness, with policies in place and enforce a no jerks allowed policy. We will make a point of getting you plugged in and connected with the community, and all this with the understanding that you want to be here and the expectation that you will put in the effort and participate in the group. Members gain access to recovery resources like worksheets, online lectures, online Q&A sessions, online discussion forums, online workshops, linking with an accountability partner and the MyRehab podcast. In MyRehab Cafe, you'll get advice and tips from members who have been sober for years, from those who have been where you are. They have a tremendous amount of experience to share, but so do you. We have chosen to grow this group slowly, paying attention to who may be a good fit and who may not be. This group may not be for everyone, and that's okay. Those who realize it's not about what you get from the community, but what you can give, are the ones who we see being the most successful. Those who ask questions, share with others, attend webinars, and get out of their comfort zones are the ones who benefit the most from this private online community. Thanks for listening, guys. MyRehab Helper, over and out.